Today we're gonna do things a little differently. I'm gonna show you everything in this room and everything we're breeding in this room here. And then I'm gonna give you a likelihood score on whether or not I think we're gonna be able to produce it. And then I'm gonna tell you exactly how you can get your hands on everything that I'm producing this year. Welcome back to the mini zoo. Most of it is kind of gone. If you haven't watched this video from 3 years ago or so, I still have a mini zoo. We're just kind of resetting it up. Everything's a little different in here. We can do a reptile room tour if you want. Let me know in the comment section below. This is an African fat-tail gecko. Her name is Cookie. I know it's her because she's got that little nub tail that kind of came off when she was a baby and regrew. Cookie is on her second breeding season, so last year was her first one. She produced 8 healthy babies and they all sold basically immediately. So we're not breeding leopard geckos this year. I know that I breed leopard geckos. I've done a bunch of videos about it. They're my favorite reptile to breed probably, but I feel like the market just isn't there, but it is for these guys. When I bring African fat-tail geckos to an expo, they run off the table basically. They're gone almost immediately. I've got some stripes, I've got some Oreo, and I've got some regular ones too, but everything that I sell will likely be under 200 bucks Canadian. So American, that's like 13 cents. Just like throw some shekels at me and we can make a deal. I love these fat-tail geckos. They're a little bit different. They're just as cute and they sell really, really fast. And as far as the likelihood score of producing them, I would give it a 5 out of 5. I produced them last year, the year before. I've never had an unsuccessful season. We're definitely producing baby African fat-tails this year. Perhaps the animal that I'm most excited to breed is my boy Frankie here. Now we got Frankie, a girlfriend. Her name is Martha. She's absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to be producing some Tonga banded iguanas hopefully this year. Now of course, these are really difficult to find if you're in the US. Unfortunately, you can't buy these. This is more for my Canadian customers. Likely these guys are gonna sell really, really fast. Martha is almost ready to go in terms of her breeding size and her breeding weight. And we're building some amazing enclosures at the back of the room there. So we're gonna be able to put these guys together and they have their own enclosures too. So in terms of likeliness, I would say with Tonga banded iguanas, because I've never bred them before and they are a little bit difficult, I would say 3 out of 5. I'm not putting it at number 1 or number 2 because A, they're not the hardest things in the world to breed. I have the right pair, and also I've got some great mentorship. I've got some people I can call on. But either way, I mean, let me know in the comment section. If you could get one of these, would you? What do you think these things cost nowadays? Because I feel like the market is shifting quite a bit. Oh, okay, this might be one of my favorite animals in my entire collection. This is a tiger morph crested gecko. Tiger morph crested geckos are a little bit different in terms of the way that they look. They fire up and fire down so dramatically. This animal is so unbelievably white right now. You just gotta be careful because they do like to leap. This is a male, we're getting him a female, but I've got a bunch of pairs of these crested geckos and a breeding trio too. So we'll be producing them because they sell immediately. I literally have not a wait list, but a customer who buys every one that I produce because he owns a reptile shop. So the normal ones that I produce are pretty darn cheap. You can buy them directly through me. We're producing some different morphs this year too. And in terms of a likelihood score, I would say the likelihood is 5 out of 5 that we'll produce these. We produce them every year. I started producing them without even trying. I'm just really excited to give Tigger an opportunity to breed for the very first time this year. I'm really excited for everything I'm breeding this year, but there are some animals that I'm gonna be breeding next year and the year after. I just have a problem first. For example, I've got Tilly the Frilly here, obviously frilled dragon with his big frills. This animal I don't have a girlfriend for. The big problem with finding a female for this guy is it's hard to find, and where the heck do I look? It's always so difficult to figure out where am I gonna buy this amazing animal that's gonna be paired with this amazing animal. Until now, I found Palm Street. And what's cooler in my opinion than going to a random website and finding one for sale is the process of bidding. And the process of bidding in a community that is dedicated towards animals, that understands animals and loves animals. So you have not only the fun of buying a new animal, but you can actually talk in the live stream, in the chats, while the auction is going on, so you know what you're bidding on, and you can ask questions in real time to figure out if it's the right match for you. That's what I love about Palm Street. Plus, Palm Street is a real community, no bots. I love that. The problem with the online community is sometimes they're not real people. You don't have to worry about that with Palm Street. Plus, the sellers have to provide care instructions before and after the sale. Plus, if you need help, you always get an actual human responding to you rather than some AI or chat bot type thing. And that is how I'm gonna be selling my animals, not only from this year, but going forward. I just think it's way more fun to do it live, do it as an interaction, and that way you know that you're getting the right animal for you. That's how I'm going to purchase animals, and that's how you can get your hands on the ones that I produce too. So go to the link below and sign up for Palm Street. Get the app. It is so much fun. I'm so excited to find Tilly a girlfriend, and I hope that you can come along for the journey. So I would say the likelihood of breeding them this year is obviously 0 because I don't have the breeding stock. And I actually already for future have some more of these guys coming for future years. I would say probably 2 out of 5 because I've never done this before. It's a little bit tricky, but we'll see what we can do. These are amazing lizards, and I think the price point is absolutely perfect. The supply is perfect and the demand is perfect too. We've moved some of these reptiles that we had in the other room into this room in their PVC enclosures. My spotted pythons, Jimmy and Linda, which are beautiful names. I know that Jim and Linda's always produce absolutely gorgeous babies. These ones hopefully will do the exact same. Yes, I named my spotted pythons after my parents. It's kind of weird, but it's also hilarious. Anyway, Jimmy is 5 years old now. I got him, I've been in this house for 5 years and I got him at another house, just to give you an idea of how long I've had Jimmy for, and he's finally ready to breed. Linda is a breeding size too. I'm gonna pair them together. I've never done it before, but from what I understand, it's really not that difficult to breed spotted pythons. For the spotted pythons, I would give them probably a 3 out of 5 in terms of likelihood, just because I've never done it before, but they're not all that difficult, and this would be both of their first seasons, so we don't know if either animal is infertile or fertile or what's going on with them. These are morning geckos, and they're just in a kind of quarantine setup right here to rehydrate them after we got them in, and then we're setting them up later on because you need UVB and this obviously isn't gonna work. This is a 6 out of 5 likelihood, and the reason is, if you don't know, morning geckos are parthenogenic, which means that males are super rare and kind of useless because females can reproduce on their own. Females will kind of rub on each other and then produce eggs. They don't need men at all. They're all strong, independent women, actually. It's funny, I thought this was the Latin name written on the top right here. It just says 6 lesbians because there's 6 of them and they're lesbians. We have, this is gonna be a really fun one. I can't believe how heavy leachianas geckos are. Every time I hold one, I'm like, oh my goodness, I forgot how freaking big these things are. These are the biggest gecko on the planet. I mean, tokays are pretty close. Might be breeding those next year. Hint, hint. You can hit subscribe because there's a huge thing happening soon. I mean, bigger than ever happened on this channel. Soon. Anyway, this is Diane. Diane is the female. We've also got Dave. They are such chill leachianas geckos. I know some people have jumpy and crazy leachies. Mine are absolutely not that way. And I can't wait to produce them because I think that although before we produced crested geckos, which are a New Caledonian gecko, and also Chihuahua geckos, I've never produced the leachianas. And leachianas, in my opinion, are king of geckos. They're from New Caledonia, similar care to crested geckos. If you can take care of a cresty, you can take care of one of these. They're just bigger, more impressive, they have vocalization, and they're a little bit more expensive. In terms of likelihood, I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I've got some friends, including one of my best buddies, Diane at Reptiles, who's produced these with great success. I know he moves his really easily, and I'm gonna be able to move these too. And that's another thing too, is if you're thinking about breeding reptiles, please don't just go breed things willy-nilly. If you can't move all of the animals, don't breed them. Don't breed animals for the sake of breeding them. That's such a really bad way to do it and terrible for the animals. You don't want to stockpile a bunch of animals that you can't move is basically what I'm trying to say. Always be careful and only produce what you think you can sell or what you already have a market to sell. This is maybe the one I'm most excited about for this year. I'm so excited to breed leachies. Hopping back over to snakes, behind me we've also got some carpet pythons. These are fantastic animals. They are maybe the perfect snake for so many people because they are long but not super robust. They're semi-arboreal. They have these big heads and therefore big teeth too, which is why I'm not holding them because they're still in food mode after feeding day. Mine are a cross, Irian jungle, or Papuan, some people call Irian Papuan. Papua used to be called Irian. Anyway, Irian jungle cross, fantastic. Last year they produced 16 eggs, 2 of them were good, and they both went bad during incubation. So this year, I'm hoping we can produce some eggs that are a little bit more viable. I'm gonna breed them the exact same way, very complicated. What I do is I take the female and the male, and then I put them in the same enclosure. That was it. Last year I got them together, they locked in the bin. Literally were locking in the bin on transport, and I got them home, put them into a quarantine enclosure while I set up their actual quarantine enclosure, and they were locked the whole time. So could not be easier. I'm gonna give this one a 5 out of 5 that we produce eggs and a 4 out of 5 that we produce viable babies. What do you think? Would you wanna get a carpet python? Because let me tell you, they grew on me. I wanna make in the future, like we're making so many freaking enclosures. Actually, come with me, I'm gonna show you. Behind me, we've got 2 enclosures that are 3 feet tall, 8 feet wide, and they are 4 feet deep. The cool thing is, as you can see, there's a little partition. So these are Cornell's World enclosures. Basically, it's 2 enclosures together, and the wall on either side, instead of the regular wall they'd give you if you were to buy just one enclosure, is a cutout wall so you can put 2 together and make a bigger enclosure, basically. Anyway, what I would like to do is make a partition in between, because the animals that I have in these big enclosures, I have other enclosures for them to go into. My Burmese python Kratos, I have a different 8-foot enclosure I'm gonna put him in, and then the iguana and the redfoot tortoises, I have a different enclosure. They're going in, plus it's summer soon, and they're going into this big giant enclosure for the summer. Anyway, we're putting a divider here, and that brings us to a not next year, not the year after, but the year after that maybe, and that is tree monitors. Tree monitors are my new obsession. There's certain animals, like the Tonga banded iguana that we talked about, that I just didn't get. I had friends who had them and I didn't understand the allure. And then I got to hold one and I changed my mind completely. I used to think Tonga and Fiji banded iguanas were kind of whatever, like who cares? Now they're some of my favorite animals and I'll never not have one. Same thing with tree monitors. Dion Reptiliatus, he's got some Sabzi and Basil, and they're fantastic monitors. So I got myself Stitch, a blue tree monitor. Now she's upstairs, or he, we haven't decided yet. Well, I haven't figured it out yet, I should say. Because it's a quarantine situation, we only got him about a month and a half ago. This animal's gonna have to grow several years in order to breed, so we're not there yet. But I wanna get another blue. I guess I'm just gonna spill the beans. I'm also getting black tree monitors because I think those are probably the most personable. Look at my friend Greg from Beneath the Canopy and his. Like, I want this as a pet. Anyway, so we're gonna turn some of these enclosures into those enclosures for the monitors. This one, the light burnt out, by the way, so we're switching it over today. It's not always dark like this. In the back of the room, follow me here, we're gonna build some enclosures here. It's a 6-foot space in between, basically. So we're gonna build 2 enclosures, 3 feet wide and 6 feet tall. And then the depth we haven't decided yet, probably 3 feet. And that's what we're gonna be doing for some of our other animals, like some of the iguanas. And then at the other end of the room, keep following me over here, the light's going, we're now backlit, but whatever. In the back corner over there, we've got lots of room and we're gonna be building an enclosure for some other animals. Here, I'm gonna turn around because you can't see anything. We've got some other animals coming that you've probably never seen in captivity before. And we're building an enclosure for those guys. They're coming in the summer. And then I'm probably turning this closet back here into an enclosure for those jungle carpet pythons. Those are my emerald tree boas. And the reason is they're just so freaking difficult to get to breed. Some people have luck, others don't. I had 2 pairs. We've already talked about this before. I've done other videos. There's one right here where my male of the 1 pair passed away, unfortunately. That means I've got 2 females and 1 male. This is gonna be a difficult project. They're definitely old enough to breed. For sure. Emeralds take quite a bit longer than a lot of snakes to get to breed, but mine are of the right size and of the right age. But they've been paired basically their whole life. The person that I got them from kept them together forever. They never bred. And then I've been keeping them together since I got them in quarantine and then just when I moved them out of quarantine. And there's just been no change. So I'm gonna have to do more research and talk to more people. I thought for sure the female was pregnant or at least ovulating because she was so big in the middle. And I talked to my friend MJ, Trap Talk with MJ, fantastic podcast. And MJ's like, no, dude, she's bunged up. She's gotta go to the bathroom real bad. And I'm like, there's no freaking way. She's so big. She took a poop the size of a German Shepherd poop. So definitely not gravid. They give birth to live babies. They come out like this red, kind of brick red type color. I can't wait. I'm so excited to get these to produce animals. I'm gonna give this one a 1 out of 5. I'm not confident. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna talk to people that I know, so I think I just need more mentorship, but this is the one, like the holy grail for me, that I would love to produce animals. So with that, let me know in the comments section the animal you're most excited about seeing being bred this year. As always, thanks for hitting like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Changes the channel. And like I said, there's like a huge surprise coming really soon. Also, Patreon, thank you so much. You guys probably already know about this by now. I'm posting it later this week. Videos early, discounts on merch, one-on-ones, and all that for as little as $1 a month. I do videos twice a week, so I'll see you in the next one.